Hi everyone, happy Friday and welcome to the newest episode of Meta Znuni, our weekly LinkedIn video series brought to you by the Meta Switzerland team. And today again, I have a very special guest who you can see here already on the screen with also a little robot in the background, which is Sylvia. Sylvia is the founder and the CEO of Arabesque and also a thought leader when it comes to AI and robotics. And we wanted just to showcase and bring her in today to showcase some of the great innovation that is happening here in the Zurich area. So Sylvia, amazing to have you today. And as always, let's start with the questions and let's dive right in. So first of all, when I think, and also today's consumers think about robots, what might come to mind is the movie I, Robot, or the use of robots for industrial processes, such as in the automotive industry. And I would love to hear, based on your long experience in the robotics field, can you tell us more about how you think robots will shape the future?
Yes. Hi, Kim. Thanks for having me. I'd love to talk about how robots will shape our future. I think, first of all, what is important to say is that robots are on an exponential growth. And second of all, we have not only industrial robots, but we have this kind of new category of robots, which are called service robots. And those are typically robots like social robots like Pepper, or care robots, or logistics robots. And those bring a service to us humans. So this will actually change the way we live our lives, whether in a professional or in a personal way. So what I want to say is, not only if you're in an industrial environment, in an automotive environment, you are continuously working with robots, but also if you work in a hotel, if you work in a hospital, if you work in retail, or if you are a client of those institutions, there will be more and more robots deployed, which optimize processes, obviously, and also bring a service and an experience to the humans. So I think the aspect of the experience is very important when we think about how robots will shape our future.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I think one point of discussion is always like, how will, the combination of us as humans and robots look like, and how will we interact, and how will that be in the future? And I would love to hear, because I know you've done quite some projects already with those service robots right now, if you have any recent example from a project where those humans and robots interacted together in the real world that worked particularly well and really could be shared as a prime example with our audience.
I would like to talk about a example in an elderly home. And when we think about elderly people, we think, oh, not sure if this is working out well. Actually, it's the opposite. So kids and elderly people react really, really well and openly to robots and new technologies. And imagine people like 80 or 90 years old being confronted with a robot to do brain training, to do fitness, to interact with any kind of speech or entertainment or music. We have this current example. We deployed a robot like Pepper this summer in an elderly home here in Switzerland, and it worked extremely well. We really also could show actually people to break these barriers, and that elderly people love to interact with the robot. They were actually going that far that when the robot was not around, they were looking in the elderly home. Where is my robot? Where can I find my robot? So yeah, there were a lot of very, very interesting encounters. It was a very successful project. Yeah.
Wow, that sounds super interesting. I'll definitely sign up of that. I still have some time to go, but that sounds, interesting. And we'll also, I think, link to this example project in the comments for everyone, so you can really have a look on how that worked. And when we switch gears a little bit, one other topic that I also wanted to hear your thoughts about is AI, because AI is one of the buzzwords that every CMO kind of talks about today when we have conversations. And also from our side, Meta is doing a lot of research in the field of AI when it comes to like how AI, for example, can help in the healthcare area. And love to hear how you see the combination of AI and robots and how they can be used in a positive way, particularly to shape our future.
Mm-hmm. I think AI and robots as a combination is super interesting, because we all know AI software, we all experienced AI software, but when we combine it with robots, which are physical robots moving around in a room, interacting with humans, plus the AI software, which is doing analysis, statistics, automation, but also it could be a chatbot. So we have actually additional opportunities to have these digital experiences. And I think it's super interesting because, yeah, the combination of both is definitely something which will grow in the future as well. Mm-hmm. We're already doing that, but I think the AI actually combined with the physical robot is an absolute plus and very, very interesting.
Yes, yes, totally agree on that, totally agree. And I think the final point that we also discussed in some of the earlier conversations we had was really how can you, to a person, or let's say to a business, showcase the benefit of actually deploying a robot. And there, of course, I mean, the best part to do is that when you have a robot, you just bring them somewhere like Pepper you have in the background, but that might not always be possible. And as you know, we recently announced our name change to Meta, and we're heavily focused on building the metaverse, really an immersive world as a success of the mobile internet. And one very important part there is augmented and virtual reality. And I just would love to hear your perspective on how do you think about leveraging AR or VR to demonstrate the benefit of robots might have when you can't deploy those robots in an actual place. So would love to hear your thoughts, and if that's something maybe you're looking into.
Yeah, Kim, it's actually an interesting question, because me working mainly in the field of service robots, we are not using so much VR yet. It's more deployed currently in the industrial robot area. But I think it gives us a new angle. Currently, what we do when we start a project, we would actually demonstrate the robot physically or do a pilot physically. And when you ask this question, I was thinking, yeah, this is actually a new perspective, which is not deployed so much yet, but I'm sure this will pick up because it gives us a new digital way of moving forward and making our lives easier. So clients will not have to come to our offices or somewhere to actually look at the robot and get the full demonstration, but just with VR and AR have a simple tool at hand. I mean, simple and good tool at hand to get that experience virtually, which I think is super interesting. Yeah.
Thanks so much for sharing your perspective. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of development coming also from our end to make that a little bit easier. So I'm sure we connect on this topic soon in the future again.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just big thank you again for I think sharing all your insights. For everyone that's watching, we'll link to the Arabesque page where you can really see some concrete examples of projects that are already in place today. This is not something that is happening in 10, 15 years, but those robots are already being deployed. So I hope you found it interesting. Thanks to you again, Sylvia, for joining us today for this episode of Meta Tsuni. It's definitely not going to be the last one. And with that, I wish you all a wonderful Friday and hear you soon. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Kim. Bye.